programmer. He dressed like he was from the 1970s. He looked like Ted Nugent.
And this wasn't the 1970s.
A lot of denim. This was 1979 when I was a freshman in college.
Like Jay Leno amount of denim.
Yes, exactly. He had that much denim. He used to wear like the heavy metal t-shirts, the whole thing.
Were those made out of denim?
Huh?
Were those made out of denim?
Those were also made out of denim. It was denim t-shirts. He looked like the kind of guy who had his nipples rubbed raw all the time. That's probably why he was so angry.
Or he's got stone hard calluses on him.
That's what it was. Stone hard calluses. That was his nickname. Larry Stone Hard Nipples. But he used to drink a lot. That was the thing. You wouldn't know by looking at him. You would think he was like a real quiet guy, but he would drink a lot, like a lot. We'd always come home. He would always come back to the dorms like just really trash. So one night, I don't know, I was coming back from someplace else, and I'm coming up the stairs, and they're like, hey man, Larry's gone fucking crazy, man. He's just, I don't know what's up, but he's going crazy. And I thought nothing of it. And I went upstairs, and Larry is fully dressed except his pants are unzipped. He was running around showing his penis to people. But what made it so funny is that he was doing it on command. So
the first time he did it, was he commanded to?
I don't know. I got there. I
would hope not.
But it was. I got upstairs. There were like two other people, and it was Larry. And they were like, Larry, show him that thing, like it was a dog almost. It was like Larry, do your trick, and he just pulls out his penis and goes blah. And you would think I'd be traumatized, but I wasn't. I just was like, hey man, come here, let's show this to somebody else. So we were running around. This was not a co-ed dorm. This was the male half of the dorm. We knew better than that for that time. But we were just going around the dorms having Larry show his penis to people. And it was the merriest Christmas of all.
That's pretty.
He was drunk though, not me.
So I also have a story to start things out. This one involves me being drunk. I was at this party, it was someone's birthday party, and I was 21, it was around Christmas time, and my plan going into the night was, I'm not going to call a couch or anything, I'm just going to pass out where I pass out, because I was young enough to think that was okay. But then like halfway through the party, I met these girls. One of them was my girlfriend at the time's friend's younger sister, and so they were like, oh, we have the pull-out couch. We know your girlfriend. We know you're not gonna do anything creepy. You should there's room on the couch. I was like, okay. And then later in the night, the last thing I remembered was turning to walk towards that couch. And then I woke up on a different floor of the house, on a different couch. I was missing a sock. And I came into the living room, my friends all went, oh, that's who they were talking about. And I was like, uh-oh. And they were like, some girls just left, and one of them said, what happened to that one guy? And the other one said, you mean the one that bit me? And we've deduced that was me.
At least you didn't expose your penis to somebody.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope not.
Oh.
But my friends, they were like, where'd you come from? We thought you were asleep on the floor of the kitchen. Because earlier in the night, they had seen me asleep on the floor of the kitchen using a one-paper napkin as a pillow. And so they explained all this to me. And I went into the bathroom and I was peeing, and then I burped and I spit out a leaf. And then I went to Denny's. That was pretty cool. So that's that whole story. Hey, Nick, do you have any...
A drunk story? Well, my parents are here tonight.
This is about them?
Yeah, the drunk story is they got drunk, I'm here. I gotta be mindful of what story I pick right now. I was doing heroin when I was 16 years old.
Nice.
And people are like, is it a joke? We don't know. No, I waited till I was of age to do heroin. No, I think this story is
19.
funny. Yeah, 19, legal age. Yeah. Her name was Shira. That was the heroin I was doing. Anybody from 1980s? No? Okay.
I got that Shira, son. I got that Shira. That was in The Wire, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was one of them. I got that Shira. I got that heat, man. I have the power. Please continue.
Okay, so in college one time, me and my buddy were at this bar, and we got real drunk, and we walk out of the bar. There is this jerk in a Hawaiian shirt just kind of been messing, starting stuff with us all night. Just messing with us, because they're like big, drunk, loud dudes, and we just were ripe pickings to get picked on, I guess, you know. And I remember we left the bar, and I saw him getting this like SUV, like a black SUV type thing, and I had snuck this beer out of the bar. It was last call, and it's Columbia, Missouri. It's like right where all the chaos is, and the bars get out, so you can kind of drink a beer that no one can tell. So many people out there. I saw the SUV come, so I killed my beer, and I go to my buddy, I go, watch this. And as the SUV pulls up, I take the beer, and I chuck it, and it like a fucking swoosh. It goes right in the back window as the car's going. It was the best shot. Nothing but net, man. It was amazing. Right in the back. He was none the wiser.
And the window was open?
Window was open. It was a beautiful summer night, and he's got his fucking dumb music playing, and he fucking didn't hear it. Well, cops saw me do it, though, you know?
Always is a
the
cop.
One cop. Never when you need one. Never when you need one.
You could have robbed a bank and there would have been no cop there.
Yeah,
throw a beer bottle in the back of somebody.
Exactly.
Did the cop at least high five you before he handcuffed you?
If he was a decent human being, he would have. But I was just jealous when I did what he couldn't do, you know. And I was like, yeah, you're welcome, officer. Autograph, that's right. All right, yeah. There's a picture if you didn't know what that was. That's just a move I do. All right, yeah. But so the cop walks over and he goes, what'd you just throw at that car? And I go, oh, that was our buddy's. That was our buddy. You ever get in a fight with anybody? And the cop goes, that was my buddy. I just punched my buddy in the dick for no reason. I was just keying my buddy's fucking dog in the face.
He asked me to.
Yeah, he's asking me. He's like, dude, will you help me out? Will you throw your trash in my car? That'll totally help me out. Do me a solid, and
I bet you can't do it. I bet you my insurance premium. You can't do it.
What are you, chicken? You chicken. That was the whole crux for Back to the Future. He couldn't be called chicken, whatever. But I just love that that's what caused that whole movie to happen, you know? Like, nobody calls me. I can think of a lot of words. Chicken? All right, get over it, buddy.
1985, that was horrible.
That was horrible. Comment boards on the internet weren't invented yet. They're the worst of all people happen.
So you said the guy was wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
But that's how I knew that was the car, because I saw a Hawaiian shirt guy get in the car, go by, I throw it, nothing but that. Cop goes over, he goes, hey man, he goes, I saw you throw that bottle, I thought you throw that bottle at that car. I was like, no, it was my buddy. I was tossing, I don't know, he left his wallet, I was tossing his wallet in there or something, his long neck wallet. And so, you know, he's like, all right, he goes, nah, he goes, let me see, he goes, what's your name? And I just go, he goes, do you have any idea of me? And he goes, do you have any idea of me? I go, no, it's at my house. He goes, what's your name? And I just go, Bookshaw. But let me back up. Can I back up a little bit? How long do
you can, but
I'll make this as quick as possible. When I was a freshman year in college, we were in the dorm, and somebody had written, there was a sign, and somebody was selling books. And they tried to make the post really fun. They're like, yeah, books, go books, books are awesome, books, yeah. And we thought, books, yeah. It was like the funniest thing. Like, who's this guy? He's like, yeah, books, yeah. That was like a thing.
The guy that made the poster.
Yeah, it was something in different colors. Just like, we just picture like a guy called Books who walks around, he's like super nerdy, but everybody thinks he's awesome. It's like, what's up, Books? Nothing much, just learning. Yeah, books, yeah. You know, Books is the awesomest, you know. And so, me and my buddy were walking around in the parking lot, we're like, yeah, we're doing that bit. Yeah, books, yeah. Our other buddy walks around the corner, he goes, Bookshaw? Who's Bookshaw? He thought when we said books, yeah, we said Bookshaw. So he goes, Bookshaw? Who's Bookshaw? And we just go, Bookshaw? You don't know John Bookshaw? Our buddy John Bookshaw? Just instantly went into that bit, you know? Mm-hmm. He's like, John Bookshaw? I was like, yeah, we were hanging out with John Bookshaw last night.
And now there's a warrant out.
And he goes to a different bit. So cut to like, that's a whole side story where our buddy for about a year thought there was this other guy, John Bookshaw, that he never ran into. And whenever he was like, where were you guys last night? I was like, oh, we were Bookshaws last night. So he was like, yeah, is he real? Is he not real? So Bookshaw became like my alias. So the one time this cop pulled me over, I just go, Bookshaw, John Bookshaw. And he's like, John Bookshaw, huh? So he goes, all right.
From the poster?
From the poster. the coolest guy on campus, you know. I heard you get mad learned. So he goes, all right, Bookshaw. He goes, I got to go run your name real quick. I'll be right back. So he turns around, walks to his car. Now, me and my buddy both know where this is going. He's going to get in the car and see John Bookshaw's not a man. And then he's going to be like, wait, why'd you lie to me? You know. So I turn to my buddy. I go, what should I do? And he goes, I'd run.
You run through the streets of Columbia.
I did.
He left you unattended in a crowd of people.
Yeah, he was just
ran your face out of the game.
Bookshaw, damn you! Always Bookshaw!
Bookshaw erased himself from the system.
You're his white whale.
He got that USB from Dark Knight Rises.
It's like Tommy Lee Jones. All right, I want you to go to every Jimmy John's, every head shop in the area, all right? It can't be further than anywhere within 9 blocks, but the city's only 9 blocks big. But so he walks beyond. So the distance between him walking towards his car, sitting down, and then he looked up and saw I was gone, came back. And he was like, where'd your buddy Bookshaw go? And of course, my buddy goes, I just met that dude. So if you ever get in a fight with someone, say they're your friend. If they're your friend, say you just met them, and that's how they
call yourself Bookshaw.
Exactly. So I fucking ran through the streets of fucking Columbia. I went to the crowd, went down an alley, and I swear every time I'd pop back out, there'd be a cop car, and I'd pop back in. I mean, they probably wasn't a lot of stuff going on, so they're like, there's a guy on the run. You know, we got a runner.
And at least you don't look like a Bookshaw.
No.
I think he totally looks like a Bookshaw.
Do you think I'm a Bookshaw? I could maybe be a MacArthur. Maybe even a Miller, but, you know, a Gary, perhaps, but I don't know, Bookshaw. So the weirdest part is that the one part there was a cop. I was loving this because how often do you have to run from the cops for something so stupid?
Oh, let me tell you.
Yeah. Well. You mean it's come up before in St. Louis?
Exactly.
No, not in this place.
We skipped from the cops. We just skipped.
So I walk up. So at one point I look down. There's a cop going they're all going real slow. One's going down this way, and then it stops. Then it slowly turns into the alley. I look down there and see a cop back by there. I'm like sort of trapped. I look up, jump on this garage, this garbage, the dumpsters. I give him that dumpster, and there's I kind of climb up. There's a little pipe. I climb to the top of this roof, and I lay down. Now I'm on top of this roof. And now I look down, and I'm kind of looking over the edge, and the cop sort of just stops by the garbage can. I'm like, fuck. So I drop down from this upper area, and I drop down. I mean, by this point, it's about 45 minutes after the incident. The first 24 minutes.
The cop is still chasing you after 24 minutes.
I don't know. At that point in my mind, that's what I decided.
Okay, yeah.
They were probably like, why are guys climbing up on roofs? That's probably a different incident at
This
this
is a guy
point.
in a college town. That probably happens to him 8 times a night.
Yeah.
You get OSHA involved.
Yeah, it's FEMA,
Interpol.
Security, Interpol. Who's here? What are we here for? Is that Interpol or is that whatever one? I don't know. If it's outside America, I don't care. But I dropped. So then I dropped down. Now here's the thing. I dropped down because if the cop climbs up there, if he decides to shimmy up this pole, I'm going to drop down the thing. So I look up there, but this area is too, because I fingertip drop down about a foot, which is fine, but I was like, I can't get back up there. And now I'm looking over and I'm a story tall up above the ground. So there's no way to get down except for jump a story off. So I sat up there for about 45 minutes. Because I was like, I've gone this far, I'm not going to get caught, you know. And I really...
Because all of your previous moves were so ingenious.
Yeah, I know. Just nothing but I was just Pac-Man. This way, no, all right, this way, no, eat that, that's not food. So I wait till in Columbia it clears out pretty fast after the last call and all the burrito place.
Yeah.
They're at the burrito place, they're at the diner, and that's it. And so there's nobody around, so I go. So I found this. There was a cord. I don't know. A cord! You know cord! What do I show? So it was up there, and I pull it, and it was caught onto something, and I was like, what do they call it? Shimmy. Yeah. It grappled down the fucking side of this wall.
You're gonna rappel down the wall.
I'm gonna rappel down the fucking wall. And so I go, I'm pulling this thing, and I did like that 45-degree angle, like lean over the building. I'm leaning over the building right now, and I'm like, all right, this is the only way to get down.
You're gonna Mission Impossible it.
Totally. So I was like, here we go, ready? I jump backwards, and of course this thing just slacks. And I just jump down backwards, fucking boom, land on my feet, land on my tailbone, get up, and then just start running again.
I like how this was a one-story drop where, like, you could have just hung and dropped. It would have been about 6 feet.
That would have been nearly Mission Impossible.
You jump backwards at about 15
off
feet.
the side of the building.
Yeah, I could have hung from the top, jumped down the same way I got there from that story drop.
Oh, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That was the worst installment of Grand Theft Auto.
I was like Grand Theft Auto 1, where it was all over. So.
You had 1 star, and that star went away, but you were still running.
You're standing next to a cop, and it's still would have
I mean, only if I landed on the cop's shoulders is the only worst thing that could happen.
Oh?
But yeah, that was it. I got away. Yeah, it was funny. My buddy, my buddy wound up walking home, and then he wound up getting a cop went by him again. He rolled down the window and goes, "Have you seen Bush?" And he goes, "No, man, still haven't seen him."
I still just met that dude. I'm not going to help with your investigation.
I haven't been hanging out with him since then. I haven't gotten to know him well enough to know his last name.
I just wish he would have pulled his face off and been like, "I'm Bookshaw! I was Bookshaw the whole time." Like the end of Kaiser Soze movie.
Bookshaw killed his father.
Killed his father.
That's pretty amazing, man.
So that's all those stories. We're going to get to our first storyteller that's not sitting on a couch. I don't know how to introduce this.
That's what the show is. It's just us telling stories.
It's just
suckers
us making ourselves laugh. So our first, I guess, proper storyteller of the night, we've got Justin Luke telling Naked and Afraid and Hungover.
Hey!
Hey! This is Justin.
Hey, Justin.
Is it working?
It's working.
Is it working? I can't tell.
Which one is that? The fourth?
I don't know.
Hang on, keep talking. There we go.
What?
Perfect. There you go.
Is that good?
Perfect.
I just want to make sure the mics are working.
That story better be worth me turning around. It's a lot of fucking work, man.
Yeah. This is about a year and a half ago. I got kicked out of school, and
It's been that long.
it's been that long.
How long were you in school before you got kicked out?
Let's not talk about it. Long enough to get kicked out.
He's talking about middle school.
My girlfriend had broken up with me, and I had to move back here to St. Louis and live with my mom. So I was sad, and I would drink anything if people gave it to me. And my friend was throwing a party, and he invited me. And as soon as I get there, he says, like, "Hey, let's do shots of Everclear."
This is 1987?
Yes.
I like how Kenny thinks when he was young enough to make that mistake
Exactly.
is the year that mistake is being made by everyone.
Kenny, I did this.
This is clearly a younger man than you.
Kenny's the one that offered me the shot of Everclear.
Kenny's like, everyone's born the same year.
Dude did Everclear died in 1992. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And so we do shots of Everclear and just keep drinking. And I was drunk enough that the last thing I remembered was that I was begging my friend to play this Kanye song, and I was singing halfway through the Kanye song, and that's the last thing I remember. I don't even get to the end of it.
You probably kept singing, you just don't remember it.
Yeah.
It just got worse, and everyone else wishes they could.
It was bad to begin with.
That's how most Kanye songs are. You just hear the first part of it, and then you don't remember anything. Like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? And then you just pass out. In 1992. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And allegedly, I threw up And
You don't have to use allegedly when you're talking about yourself.
No, yeah, I don't want. No,
You're not gonna.
I don't want. I want these people to think better about me.
You're not gonna sue you for perjury.
It could happen.
Allegedly is always followed by murder. So don't say allegedly. Or assault. So don't say that either.
I threw up in the ice bucket, and I was.
What kind of party were you at when they had an ice bucket?
The ice bucket, not a cooler.
Was it for charity?
Yes.
The original ice bucket charity.
I was at a holiday party in the 60s. So yeah, the ice bucket. I said the 60s.
We had to chip it off of the cube they delivered.
I like how it keeps going further back. Oh, is this 1805? What, did you have the consumption?
So what was this, like a hotel?
Well, did you? I'm sorry. Please.
No, it was my friend's house.
Your friend just stole an ice bucket from a hotel?
That is odd to have an ice bucket. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly.
I don't know. It wasn't my house. I wasn't that.
But this is a house I would assume has a refrigerator.
Ice bucket always follows allegedly. So yeah.
So I said it, man. And I was saying I needed to go home, and I don't have a car, so I was going to ride the bus home at like 2 a.m. when the buses weren't running.
I don't have a car, as if you would have been able to drive a car while you're puking.
Yeah, I had to explain.
Your explanation was, well, I couldn't crash my car, so I had to ask for a ride.
I don't have a car. I don't have a car.
We take your keys away, but you're too poor to have keys.
So I had to ride the bus home. It was 2 a.m., so the buses weren't running.
That is true.
Yes. And my friend offered me to get a ride home, and I don't remember getting to the car. I know I was in the car, and I threw up in my friend's car.
Is this where the ice bucket was?
Yes.
You had one in this car?
Yes.
That would have been cool if you had an ice bucket in the back of this car. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
I took the ice bucket with me.
Is it just ice buckets?
Justin forgets a lot of nouns and he just replaces them with ice buckets. He actually threw up in a bathtub.
That's my glove compartment. Ice bucket!
Bro, is that an ice bucket? That's my mom, dude. Fuck you!
Ice bucket.
Please continue.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Yeah, please.
Sorry.
And my friend was telling me I had a flannel shirt on and like an undershirt. He said, "Take your shirt off and throw up in your shirt."
This is how I can tell your friends were as young as you were, because he hadn't already learned that lesson.
So I took my shirt off and I threw up in my shirt.
I assume he threw your shirt onto more of his car, right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't tell you. I just know I threw up in this man's car.
He offered you a ride only after he found out the buses weren't running. And then he told you to vomit in your shirt. I don't think this dude is your real friend.
I also don't think he's fit to drive. You know, that's a good idea.
And so I eventually get home and I take all of my clothes off.
The rest of them?
Yes.
You know about the ground, right? You know you can throw up on the ground.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
I chose
you don't have to bring it with you where
I made a decision.
Leave it there. That's the beauty of cars. You can, at a rapid rate, go from where you threw up.
He grabbed a stick and put a shirt on and made a knapsack full of vomit. like the grossest hobo.
That's on the ground. No time! Bring it with you! We gotta go! 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 It's 2 a.m. We have all the time in the world! Go! Go! Go!
So I threw all my clothes in the washing machine, all the clothes I was wearing, and I went up to go sleep, and I woke up naked, and yeah. That's it.
You waking up naked would have been way less anticlimactic if you hadn't told us how you took your clothes off.
I woke.
With an ice bucket over your genitals.
Yeah.
That would have been cool, man.
I woke up in a bed of ice buckets, just covered in my vomit. It was.
So wait, this was all told to you by somebody else. You don't.
I remember, I know I threw my clothes in the washing machine.
That's very responsible of you.
Yeah.
Not the drinking part.
I mean, I took all of my brother's clothes out of the washing machine and threw them on the ground.
Oh, when you said threw them on the ground, I thought you were going to be like, and throw them there?
These fucking ice buckets are everywhere! God damn it! I'll show you, ice bucket.
And, wait, I woke up naked, and my mom comes in, she's like, hey, when did you get home last night? I don't know.
Ice bucket 30?
And then, like,
Did she see you naked? Were you under the covers?
I was under the covers.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you could have been beaten off. It's just like high school.
There weren't enough ice buckets for me to be thrown.
We didn't have ice buckets back then.
It was the 80s. We didn't have ice buckets.
We had to hold ice in our bare hands.
We didn't have ice.
Yes,
Anthony.
You know, Eskimos have over 37 different words for ice bucket.
That is true. That is.
And Justin has only one word for nouns, and it's ice bucket.
She asked me why did I put all my brother's clothes on the ground. I said, I don't know. And I think that's it.
It's also responsible that you didn't say, fuck him.
Yes.
Fuck him, man, he's an ice bucket.
I'm tired of you and all these goddamn ice buckets. Stop with talk. And then take your covers off with your big dong hanging out. I'm only assuming. I've never seen it.
That's very considerate of you to assume that.
I'm a very generous describer.
Thank you.
All right.
So Justin Luke, everybody.
Justin Luke, everybody.
I feel he made me feel like a raging alcoholic with that story.
He is.
Because I feel like that was every Tuesday for me in college, just getting drunk, not remembering. Did you guys ever have a name for your? Because like I was Nick, but then there's Nick, then there's Blackout Nick.
I thought you were going to say Booksaw. I was like, we've already heard the Booksaw story.
Bookshaw is sober. Well, Bookshaw is Buzz Nick's alias. Then there's Blackout Nick, where I would have at some point I knew Blackout Nick was going to come out, so I'd have a talk with Blackout Nick. Because Blackout Nick would be like, oh, one more beer and it's time for me. You know? I'd be like, hey, easy there, Blackout Nick, easy there. No, let's party. I go, all right, you can go to the party on 3 conditions. 1, don't steal stuff for no reason. Because I would wake up the next morning
with your pockets full of things?
With my pocket with like screws to something that like will do me no good at all. But I know someone's gonna sit in a chair and be like, you know.
God.
Yeah, there's a Ferris wheel falling apart somewhere in Indiana.
Rolling down the street.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll take this out, you know. This wing nut does me. That's the dumbest thing to steal. Something that does you no good at all.
Well, maybe you were eventually, drunk Nick was planning to eventually build something out of only screws.
That'd be amazing. It'd be a disaster. Yeah, maybe there's something I'm working on that I don't know about, and I have to get. That's a great movie. I gotta get blackout drunk to find the thing I'm working on.
You own a time machine that you only know about when you're blacked out.
Yeah. And that's why I never remember anything, because I just jump through all that time period and jump to the part where I wake up.
I like how you gave him 3 conditions.
The other one was don't try to. Don't just like mooch weed from people for no reason. Because Blackout Nick would be like, I don't know those people. Hey, what are you guys talking about? Oh, that's so weird. It's coming my way in a second. All right, nice talking to you. Like, don't be that dude, you know. And the third thing was don't try to see what stuff you can fit inside. I was. Because I had a party, there was a party one time, and me and my buddy were drunk, and there was a dryer, and I was like, I bet I can fit in that dryer. So I got inside, and we found a camera, and so we put this before people used to use cameras, and so like when people before it was all on phones, and the guy had a camera, and I got into I heard mason jar, right?
The famous mason jar heckler.
I love mason jars because I love it's like that's such a funny thing to get like you get pulled over and officers like how many beers did you have tonight? How many mason jars? How many buckets of mason jars of beer? You know, like so sometimes you go to a place that's nothing but buckets and mason jars, and I like drinking out of weird stuff like old baseball gloves.
There you go.
But one time. I get inside the fucking dryer, and as I'm getting in, my buddy's taking pictures of me, and it's me like getting in the dryer, and me like got one leg in, and then me like sort of like trying to get in, and then I like sort of like start to fall, and I grab myself, and the dryer door just bent down like that as I put all my weight on it, and then so there's like, and then I get out, so there's this camera.
You made a flip book of you breaking.
Exactly. They're gonna go through the pictures. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck happened to our dryer last night?" And look at the pictures and watch me go in frame by frame, break it, and then hide the pictures of me hiding the camera.
That's the shittiest reason to go have to buy a new dryer.
I know. It's a dumb fuck like me.
Getting into it.
It wasn't me. It was Black on me. I have nothing to do.
And then Justin Luke came and got you out and threw up inside. And how the story is.
And I was like, I'm no ice bucket.
Synergy.
So we're gonna move on to
the next person.
Next person tell a story. Telling a story called Blind Drunk. We have, let's make some noise for Andrea Holting.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Andrea. Hi.
Did she know you or was she drunk? We can get her out of here.
No,
She'll tell the story next time we have alcohol or something.
I blame the mason jars.
Nice.
First of all, I'm very nervous when I sit on stools because you have to
can
be.
stand if you want.
Well, you have to be very careful when you sit on a stool with like your body language because all it takes is like a 45-degree angle to become like normal to like lesbian gym teacher. 'Cause, like, it's just like this.
I don't ever look like a lesbian.
That's my biggest fear.
It's something I have to be careful of. Where it's just like you guys are gonna roll suicides right now. Just like very. It just gets aggressive real quick with that turn. But that's not what this is about.
That would have been pretty great if you transitioned. Speaking of, middle school gym class. 19 whatever.
My 21st birthday was very typical in the sense that I don't remember any of it. But the morning after my 21st birthday was very atypical in the sense that...
I would hope this story would have an atypical element in it.
There it is.
Otherwise it'd be like...
It's pretty typical. When it got some cereal, you know how it is. Watch that. Yeah, it was done. Thanks, everybody.
Well, it was atypical in the sense that I woke up and had lost one of my senses. Like,
oh, man, I don't know why. I thought you were going to say testicles. I don't know why. Oh, Jesus Christ, that would have been hilarious.
so close.
And then the transition began. Did it?
God damn it.
Did a really good job. You couldn't tell.
I know, it was just one that she had found and kept in a mason jar.
She's like, screw, wingnut, testicle.
Quit stealing stuff that's not yours. It doesn't do you any good.
I held on to those, thank God.
Ah!
Yes.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I woke up as a blind person, I was sitting at a dining room table in a hardback chair, like face down, and I woke up and just started like screaming because I couldn't see anything, and like it was the most pain I can ever explain. Where like I just woke up and started screaming for help, like just.
Was it blurry or was it like completely black?
It was blurry, but when I tried to even open my eyes, it was like just horrible. Where I was screaming for people for help, and I was like, "What did we do? Like, did we get in a fight with like shards of glass? Like."
So you don't know if there are people there. Were you just yelling?
Yes.
Hoping there's someone.
Help me.
What did we do, people?
Help. So.
What were you drinking the night before?
I thought it was like the kind of thing, well, I don't know, but like it's the kind of thing when like you hear about people having like the top layer of like moonshine and they go blind. I was like, oh, I'm that case.
I've never heard that. I have the top layer of that moonshine.
Yeah, when you brew moonshine.
Always drink the bottom layer first. Really, of any drink you ever have. You always drink the bottom
Drink the
layer.
moonshine through a straw because you go blind if you drink the top of it.
Only
That's
ever
true.
drink
When you're
skim
brewing
moonshine.
moonshine, you have to be very careful of the top layer because one sip,
And it'll kill you. You'll go
I think you're
blind.
thinking of ethanol.
It's methanol. It's called methanol. That's the
Methanol.
kind that blinds you. A little chem lesson for all of you tonight.
So
But-
you woke up and you were like, does this happen every time you drink legally?
Yes. So, like, it hurt so badly. And what my best friend, everybody had like, a hard night as well. But people are gathering because I'm screaming. And my best friend is, like, trying to help. But she said that the faces I was making, trying to see, were making her nauseous. So she had to sit down.
Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. You can't see, and the first person you see is like your face is making me nauseous. Right?
Because, you know,
Was your face like a spinning pinwheel?
It's like that thing where, like, people are trying to open this part of their face, so they use the entire rest of their face to help, and they're like,
I know you're blind, but I can't handle this.
I understand.
I can't handle this.
over, and they were like, we can't, this is
I
hard
understand it
for
was
all
a
of
weird
us.
face. I don't understand
It's
the
hard for
nauseous
all of
part.
They
us.
sound like Justin Luke's friends. Who never know? Young people, all right.
Yes. So it wasn't working. Nothing was working, and it was like serious. Where I had my face under the sink for like 10 minutes, just crying. And I couldn't see. I could not see anything.
How do you know you were in the sink crying? That's
I was
friend
led.
there.
People
your
were
friend?
helping by that point.
Oh, okay. I thought they left.
So you were trying to like rinse off the blindness?
It washes right out.
I don't know what I would do, but
I mean, you still had tears coming out, so your eyes were kind of working, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So after doing that, I was like, okay, this is very serious. Nothing is working. Like, I'm calling my eye doctor.
I love you have an eye doctor.
I was like, I know it's a Sunday, but we're going to have an emergency appointment, and I need to get in here. So I call my eye doctor, and this is the point of the story where I need to explain that my eye doctor is my father.
Wait.
so that's why you knew his
Oh
number blindly.
man, you wasn't.
No,
we weren't allowed
like,
to call him father growing
He's
up. We
my
had to call him eye
dad,
doctor.
which you'd think would help, but it made it so much worse.
And he was the guy that was like, I can't look at your face right now. This is making me nauseous.
There was a lot of shame behind those eyes.
Does your dad know that you drink at this point? Does he know?
Yeah, but not to the point where you call him and you're like,
My eyes don't work.
okay, like things are really bad, like I don't know. And he was like, what is it? I was like, I think that like somebody must have used like both of my eye sockets to open their beer bottles last night.
With you,
So many people were just
That's awesome.
cracking up.
That's awesome.
I think it's gone. Like, it must have been.
With you as a newly blind person, I'm picturing you holding the phone upside down.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking to him like this, like,
Dad, I can't hear you either.
like, so, I was like,
I would have hung up personally.
people, like, everyone was cracking open a beer using my eyeballs last night.
I don't think that's
We
so
need to do
ridiculous.
something.
We can't have this conversation anymore.
It was bad. So I was like, you need to come get me. We need to go into your place. And this is, we don't,
That sounds so ominous.
No, you want to buy drugs? Your eyes
Yeah.
worked on. We need to go to the place. You know,
So-
behind the chop shop.
I never see my dad in action, like, with the white coat on. So this was our first.
And neither did you that day.
Yeah, exactly. So
Right?
he picked me up, and we drive the entire, like, I get in the car, just like this shameful youngest child, like, hey, thanks for picking me up, Dad. Like, sorry about that. Like, we drive the whole way with my eyes over my face, just like, I don't know, you're gonna need to
people
get.
won't see that you're blind.
Yeah. But the whole way there, I'm saying, yeah.
Why you close your eyes?
Well, I couldn't open them. It was painful.
I know, but why did you put your hand over your eyes if you couldn't?
Everything, like, it was the worst. Like, it was just,
That helped.
Here's the thing.
sunlight hurt. Yeah.
This helped ease the pain. I'm sorry.
When someone's blind and has their eyes closed, I don't think there's something wrong with them. If they're holding they're like gripping their face
That person's so
really hard, I'm like,
Well, the
there's
act
something
of
wrong with that
opening
person.
my eyes was like
That
just
hurt.
like shards of glass.
I'm just confused about you covering them. Like how?
It helped.
Oh, it helps. I thought that was the
pain.
shame.
Okay, so that was like.
I thought that was the shame part.
Stevie
So-
Wonder wears like dark glasses because it helps.
That's how he used to play when he first started. He used to play with one hand. It's like Stevie, man. We can only hear like half the song. Come on.
For like 3 seconds.
That's a true fucking story. That's time, all
For
right?
like a whole 5 seconds, I thought he said Stevie Nicks, and I was like, I don't get it.
That's Stevie Nicks also did the same thing. That's how she
Gotta
say
do what
witchy
you gotta
woman.
do.
Or witchy woman.
Okay, please
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna get my fleet back. Right?
they're coming. They're back, all four. So okay. So
All four.
okay, we get to the whole way. I'm saying like, I can't wait to get this glass out of my eyes, like this glass. And the whole way he's driving, really not concerned at all, just being like, there isn't any glass in there. There isn't any glass. I'm like, Dad, I know that there's glass in my eyes. Like it's not. And I was like, okay, well we'll see. So we get.
And then you just take some glass and jam it in
Yeah.
your eyes. How about that, smart guy? Huh? Genius?
So I'm sitting in his chair. I'm sitting in his eye doctor chair, and he pries open my eyeballs and uses whatever they use to look inside. I'm like just yelling. It hurts so badly. And he turns off his machines and he's like, all right, well, there isn't any glass. And I was like, Dad, come, like, you gotta get it out. You gotta get that glass out. Like, I was panicking at this point. And he said, there's no glass, but both of your eyes are covered with a blister. Like, there's blisters covering these.
Oh my God!
Covering both eyeballs. And
I'm laughing with you.
it's bad. So I was like, how does this happen? There's blisters covering both of my eyeballs. And he goes, well, the only patients that I see that do this, that this happens to, are like severe alcoholics. Severe. And I go, how does this happen? And he goes, you fell asleep and slept through an entire night with both eyes wide open. So, I imagine...
So you scared the shit out of anybody that walked through that room.
I know. Wait a
So
minute.
yes!
How did you not live in a morgue? How you?
So like, okay, so let's go back. Let's go back. I woke up sitting in a hardback chair, face down. So this is what bystanders at the party, I guess, before I passed out, saw. Just a person like this.
Because only a crazy person would
8
have their eyes
hours,
open.
just like that.
So they were like just held open by the table?
No, I've seen it.
My fists were down, my eyes were open.
How does that happen?
I remember in college, we had a buddy that would happen every once in a while that he would pass out with his eyes wide open.
And his name was Bookshaw.
Yeah. But it would really, and we would be like, his name is our buddy Don, and I'd be like, Don, and we'd like wait in front of him, and we would just stare at him for like an hour. It was so weird, because his eyes would be like,
Bad.
he'd
Nobody
be
did
snoring with the fucking, just fucking like wide open. It's fucking weird.
It's horrifying. So, which makes me think is like, how many times do you have to like get? If you're an alcoholic, how many times do you have to go into the eye doctor before you realize you've overdone it? It's like I fell asleep with my eyes open again. Like, gotta go in.
Or if
Because
you're-
that was the biggest wake up call I think anybody could ever get.
How many alcoholics do you know go to eye doctors? I think that's the thing.
If this happened to you, you'd be gunning it.
Because most people don't have eye insurance.
Yeah.
I did it for a long time. So I was also an alcoholic, so I don't know.
Then if you wake up blind, you can't look up the eye doctor's number.
That's
I got to
right.
get to my
You know it because it was your dad. Everyone else is just
Right.
like, hey, somebody Google eye doctor.
Yeah. Nobody else
can't
knows,
see.
knows one. Yeah.
So what ended up happening? How did you solve the problem?
So he like squirted
Anti-alcoholism droplets.
He popped them blisters.
it was like the equivalent of like when Jesus like spit into the mud and like wiped it on a blind man. Like it was just like I don't know
I
what the
was
fuck.
there.
So he made you walk to a river and wash it off? Because that's
No.
the next thing that
He
Jesus
just
does in
spit in
that
your
story.
face.
He's like, you're on your own.
Stop drinking, you maniac! And he just walked away.
You gotta be Jesus, Dad.
I think there was a part of him that didn't want to. I think he wanted to be like, sorry, like blind for life, like.
Learn your lesson.
Yeah.
He's a better man.
You think very lowly of your father. You think he'd be like, well, you're fucked. I gotta deal with that.
Well, nobody likes to pick up their blind kid like from drink like.
Well, some people have blind children and they deal with it.
Some people have blind
Well-
children that like to fucking party as well. So,
Exactly.
you know.
It was just bad. was a rough day. It was a rough realization for him. And the only thing the only thing he ever said to me was like, maybe if you could like turn it down a notch. And I was like, okay. And he was like, don't tell your mom. And I said, okay. And we never talked about it again.
So wait, is your mom here tonight? Your mom's not here?
No.
Oh, shit. That would have been a choice.
We're telling Kay.
Tell Kay. Totally tell Kay.
Kay
Is that her name, Kay?
would be...
Why? It's too late now. You can
So
see.
sad.
What is she gonna do? Re-blind you?
She doesn't deserve that. She doesn't.
Well, I don't know. I don't know Kay. Maybe she does.
It was a nice little pro bono thing that my dad did for me.
Pro bono, you're his child.
He didn't deserve
This one's on the house. All right?
My parents raised me, pro bono. I'm gonna write this off on my taxes.
That's my story. That's all.
Hey! Give it up.
everybody. So we're gonna take like
What do you want to keep going? You want to tell them to get up and order drinks? Please feel free. You want to take a break? 5-minute break?
Yeah, we'll take a 5-10 minute break. We'll say 5.
And give it up for Mick, the bartender, also the owner.